definition of that because she's brilliant when it comes to that. But when it comes to the keto flu, you really will get sick. And is there any way to not get the ketosis flu?
Okay, yeah. So that is a really good question. So you can think
Yes,
of
I
it.
will save the video. Whoever just asked that, I just missed it.
So you can think of the keto flu as your body is used to eating carbohydrates, protein, and a little bit of fat. So when you are completely changing things around and now your body has to eat so much fat, your body doesn't have the same mechanics that it needs to use that fat as energy. And so you can think of it as if you are using coal to get energy heat for your home, and you're switching to solar, then that's going to take quite a bit of different equipment to use the solar energy instead of coal. Not to say that ketogenic is solar and other diets are coal, but that just gives an analogy.
It's a good analogy.
Different equipment.
No, that's a good analogy. Really good analogy.
So it can be about 3 days, that's typical, but if you've been on a pretty high carb diet, then it can take longer for your body to switch over. So I've heard of it taking as long as up to 6 weeks.
That would be unreal. I've had my client, I think it lasted 1 week and she was miserable.
Yeah.
But then she felt better after she started to feel better, and then she had that energy about her and she just felt satisfied, truly satisfied, and even through her workout she felt better as well. Yeah. Another question, let's see. I lost all my questions right here.
But one thing that I wanted to talk about. So a lot of people say, hey, I'm doing a ketogenic diet, I'm eating really low carb, I feel great. But you have to understand, ketogenic diet doesn't mean just low carb.
No.
It means a lot of fat and moderate protein. And moderate protein doesn't mean, okay, I feel like I want to eat some protein now, maybe I'll have a protein shake later on. I'm eating actually quite a bit of protein. Your body, so protein is made out of amino acids and trans amino acids, and trans amino acids have the ability to convert amino acids into glucose, and glucose are carbohydrates. And so essentially, if you're eating too much protein, then that is going to feed your body as if you were eating carbohydrates. So that's why you have to stick to the moderate protein approach, and you can't go overboard with it.
No, that's totally it. I'm glad she covered it. What's this one right here? Covered thoughts about keto.
Okay, maybe
that
was already covered. Any thoughts on keto oats?
I think that's a product. Is that a product?
Say keto what?
Keto OS?
Yeah, that's that.
So that's that product. So, yeah.
Okay.
I've actually taken the product before. I liked it because I actually perform a lot of high intensity workouts. So when performing it, so it was actually called Max. It was through Prove It. I needed that in order to be able to perform at the high intensity level that I wanted to perform. So, good question.
So it actually has a form of the ketone bodies already broken down, so that's why I can give you the faster energy. And so Allie is a fantastic fitness trainer.
Aww.
And she has everybody who's in her boot camps, they love it. I do her classes on Fridays and I love it. I look forward to it all week. But so she does a lot of HIIT, and so if somebody's doing a lot of HIIT and high intensity interval, so the difference when you're on a ketogenic diet, you have to realize that it's a slower process to get the energy. And so it's somebody who does HIIT, they might have a harder time because they're not getting that fast, instantaneous breakdown from glucose, into glucose. So that glucose is that really fast energy. You don't have that glycolysis breakdown into glucose. So
in this right here, so we have, it looks like Golden31 is asking a question in regards to meat.
Oh, okay.
So the question with that, obviously, and we kind of talked about that, it's predominantly that fat, 75% fat, and then the rest of it, it's actually a lower protein. So there are ways you can do it if you are vegan. And one of the things that both Ariel and I love it, she's the one who turned me on to it, is a peanut flour. Mm-hmm. So it's awesome.
It's 16 grams of protein per fourth a cup and 110 calories and 4 grams of net carbohydrates. And so Allie likes to make some pancakes.
I like to make pancakes with it, and she makes an ice cream, and it's awesome.
Yeah, so you can actually do a vegan keto diet pretty easily because it's so fat. It's so high in fat, so you just focus on coconut oil and olive oil and nuts, and so it's fairly easy to still do vegan and ketogenic. So if you're not a big meat eater and you want to try ketogenic, then there should be, it's a pretty easy thing to do because you don't want to eat too much protein.
Perfect. So any tips that we might have, another question, any tips we might have for eating out on a ketogenic diet? Really, truly, we live in a day and age where we can get online, click and find out what the macros are for any type of meal. But really, I think it's a little bit easier because you're going to look for that food we talked about earlier, the fats. Most places serve it in butter for the most part, or oils.
So exactly. It's actually pretty dang easy to eat keto when you're out because, I mean, if you want to get a burger, just take off the bun and take off the extra dressings, and there you go. You have this hamburger. You can even add extra cheese if you want, and there you go. It's high fat. You definitely have some protein in there. It's pretty easy.
Yes. And people are asking where you can purchase the peanut flour. Yes, you can purchase it on Amazon. The name of the company, the one that I went through, what is the name?
It's called Protein Plus.
Protein Plus.
Peanut flour. Yeah, and it comes in this little. It's kind of a tan bag, and it's one of those things you'd never expect would be that great, but I love it because, so the branding on it isn't amazing, which makes me love them even more, but it doesn't have salt or sugar in it. It is just peanuts, which I love because other flours, PB Fit, it has sugar in it, and so this is more keto friendly, or even if you're just watching your carbohydrates. So I use it all the time in my smoothies.
I do too. I love it. And then we have people asking also about how to test if you are in ketosis. And there are actually 2 different ways you can do it. I've done it through urine sample or urine strip that you can purchase. Actually, I've bought it at Smith's, easy as that. And you can also do blood work or a blood test, right? Correct.
The blood test is a little more expensive, but it gives you
a little bit more accurate.
It's more a little bit more accurate, but of course anything that's more expensive will hopefully be more accurate. So
all right, we'll see if I have any more questions.
So to go into that too a little bit more, if you want to do just a cheaper way just to see if you're in ketosis, the daily urine sample through the little urine strips just from Smith's or anywhere, that if you are out of ketosis, then it won't really show up for about 20 hours or so. But if you're eating typically the same diet every day, doing that morning or afternoon urine strip, that's an easy way to check that you're still in ketosis.
Yeah. And that kind of brings us to the next point. People will ask, is this safe on your kidneys? Is it safe on your gallbladder? Truly with kidneys, as far as the idea is if kidneys, you're not eating that much protein. So usually protein is usually what will affect the kidneys. Am I right? So with the gallbladder though, with that,
so that one, it's more in...
I know that
is a really great question. But with the gallbladder, there's more of a flare-up when you're eating a high carbohydrate, high fat. And so that's when it's kind of an overload and your gallbladder has to produce more bile to compensate for how much fat is in there. And the carbohydrates, in a sense, make it more sticky. And so I haven't heard, for clients that have had gallbladder issues, I haven't heard of any complaints if they've done the lower carb keto approach. So that is a really good question.
All right, perfect. And then our last question is, do we do customizable meal plans towards ketogenic diets? And yes, we both do.
Yeah, so we both have clients that wanted to have had those needs, and we base it off of you and what you need, and so we do it all the time.
Perfect. Okay, so shout out for your Instagram page.
So Happy Body. You can go to happybody.com, or my Instagram is Happy Body. It's spelled H-A-P-I.
Yeah, that's important. H-A-P-I.
Yeah, H-A-P-I-B-O-D-Y, and it's community-driven health. So if you have health questions, or if you want to be
that is awesome. Yeah, because you can actually go on and anybody can ask a question in regards to health. So you can just go on, type in, if you want to answer something, you can answer